you guys, we need to talk about this new season 3 of Euphoria because there is a lot being said. And honestly, most of it is making me feel like I'm losing my mind. I'm sorry, but did we not all collectively agree that this show was basically a fever dream we had in 2019? Like, tell me why we are suddenly back here 4 years later acting like everything is normal? Because it's not. It's really not. There was already a massive cloud over this season before it even had a premiere date. People were literally begging HBO to just let it go. Like, we're good, Sam. Keep it in the drafts. But no, it is here. It is officially coming out this Sunday, and I have spent the last 48 hours spiraling down a rabbit hole of cast drama, leaked trailers, and what looks like a total identity crisis for the show. But wait, it gets so much weirder than just a long hiatus. The show premiered in 2019. Season 2 was 2022. It is now 2026. Do the math. These teenagers are practically eligible for AARP memberships at this point. And look, I know we've had the strikes, the delays, the constant, is it happening? Is it not? But the vibes going into this premiere, they aren't just mixed, they are sinister.
The Euphoria premiere was messy. Let's talk about what stars took a photo together, what stars did not, certain big stars that left early, controversial guests, what awkward reunions happened, what tea was spilled in interviews, and on a side note, an extremely serious tribute to Eric Dane and Angus Cloud. So the Euphoria premiere happened in Los Angeles tonight, and the whole cast seemed really excited to be together, very giddy. I'm happy that they all seem to be getting along despite like rumors. Jacob Elordi not recognizing Maud Apatow at first and then being like, oh my god, it's you, was so cute. I'm very happy that Sydney Sweeney can like put the drama behind her and everyone seemed to be genuinely just so happy to be around each other. So these 4 women of the show took photos, and then Zendaya actually showed up separately at the end. And the amount of flashes going off, this is like that video of Beyonce at the VMA. She shut the carpet down. We actually did get reports that Zendaya left early. There was no photo of her with Sydney Sweeney, so maybe the rumors were true. People online are saying she did not even stay for the screening. She had to show up and then go. She did have a quick hug with Sam Levinson, despite rumors of their feud and their feud being a little bit public as well. They seem to be being cordial at the premiere together. Sydney Sweeney had her presumed boyfriend, Scooter Baran, there. They shared a little kiss right in front of Hunter Schafer on the inside, and Hunter's just like, you know, he stole Taylor's masters, so I'm sorry if I'm not thrilled to see him there. Alexis Damie was asked a certain question about like how it feels to see not only her career, but like all of her cast members' careers really blow up after the show. And it's just unfortunate to me because a lot of people think this could be her last red carpet forever, as she did speak about potentially quitting acting because how hard it is to get roles as a Latin and mixed woman in Hollywood. She deserves the biggest career of the show. She was the one really talking to all the fans. And so tragically, this was the season 2 premiere. As we know, Angus Cloud has passed away. He is no longer with the cast, but there was a touching tribute from Sam Levinson to Angus Cloud, saying that he actually tried to keep him sober and stop him from falling down that road that led to his overdose. We know Hunter Schafer broke down crying, saying she might not come back to the show because of his passing.
When Angus died, it was tough. I loved him deeply, and I fought hard to keep him clean.
It's also a very touching tribute to Eric Dane, where Sam Levinson said that he loved him very much, and this was one of the last things he ever filmed before he tragically passed away. The whole cast was so excited to have him on set with them, and he did a great job. And when everyone was asked if this is the final season of the show, this is what they all said.
Season 3, the end of Euphoria. It feels like it. Yeah.
It kind of feels like we're all showing up to a funeral we weren't invited to. People are saying they're only tuning in to hate watch it, just to see if the train wreck finally jumps the tracks. And honestly, based on the interviews coming out of HBO, it sounds like even the executives are ready to pull the plug. A whole year goes by, then another, then another. We're talking 3 full years of delays, strikes, rumors, creative tensions, zero communication, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, they announce season 3 is coming. Sunday, April, Coachella screening, done, and everyone's like, wait, what? Just like that? No real press tour, no synchronized cast rollout, no synchronized anything, just a trailer drop and a premiere date and a vibe that something got rushed through the door before anyone could stop it. But here's the thing that nobody is really connecting. It's not just the delay that feels wrong. It's everything around the delay. It's the pattern of things happening, or more specifically, not happening, that tells a much bigger story. And that story starts with one name. Sam Levinson. Okay, so if you've been paying even mild attention to entertainment discourse over the last 2 years, you know that Sam Levinson's reputation took a hit, and not like a small hit, like a full-on reputation collapse hit. The Idol happened. I'm sorry, but The Idol happened. And people watched that show and they were like, wait, is this the same person who made Euphoria? Because critics were saying it was gratuitous, shallow, built entirely on shock value with nothing underneath. And it bombed publicly, loudly, in a way that the internet did not let go of quietly. And here's where it starts getting interesting. Because right when the idol discourse was at its peak, right when people were questioning everything Sam had ever touched, Euphoria Season 3 was allegedly falling apart behind the scenes. Reportedly, Sam, HBO, and Zendaya could not agree on the direction, could not get on the same page about where Rue was going, could not settle on anything, and that went on for years. So you have a creator whose credibility just took a major public hit. A star whose schedule is now more packed than almost anyone in Hollywood, and a network that has a massively expensive, massively popular show sitting in creative limbo. Tell me that's not a pressure cooker situation. Tell me that's not a recipe for something going sideways. Okay, but here's where things start to shift from behind the scenes drama to something that actually feels strange when you put it all together. When they announced Season 3, they didn't confirm the full cast. They announced it, and then slowly, painfully slowly, names started trickling out. One by one, through rumors, through sources say, through cast members themselves going to the media like, hey, I haven't heard anything. Am I in this? Rue's mom, Leslie, who was a deeply important part of the first 2 seasons, was reportedly not even contacted. She had to speak publicly about not being informed before they suddenly reached out and welcomed her back. A series regular, someone who played a pivotal emotional anchor in the show, and she found out through the internet that her character might not be coming back. Is that normal? Is that how a production that has its vision locked in operates? Because I don't think it is. And then there's Dominic Fike. When Season 3 was announced, his name wasn't included, just absent. And then his team had to go to the media and confirm he was in it. Not the show. Not HBO. His team. Something about the way this whole thing was stitched together feels less like a planned creative rollout and more like people filling in blanks at the last minute. And now I need to talk about Sydney Sweeney, because this piece of the puzzle is fascinating to me. So there's this group cast photo that gets posted. Zendaya, Hunter Schafer, Alexa Demi, Maud Apatow, all together looking stunning. Very much in the Euphoria promotional energy. And Sydney Sweeney is just not there. Now, production came out and said she was filming something that day. She couldn't make it. Simple explanation. But the internet did not accept that explanation quietly. People were asking, why this photo? Why this grouping? Why is the most talked about cast member in the last year the one who's absent? And honestly, whether or not there's actual tension, the fact that it looks like there might be is its own problem. Because when you're trying to rebuild hype for a show that people have been questioning for 3 years, optics matter. You cannot afford for the promotional rollout to look fractured. You cannot afford for fans to be reading into cast photos like they're trying to decode a conspiracy. But that's exactly what's happening. And now I'm wondering, is this a coincidence or is this a pattern? Okay, let me lay this out because I think when you see it all together, it hits differently. Cast member not informed about their own return. Pattern. Lead actors' involvement unclear until their own team clarifies. Pattern. Group promo photo missing a key cast member with no heads up. Pattern. Creator's reputation actively under scrutiny going into the season. Pattern. 3 years of reported creative disagreements between the star, the creator, and the network. Pattern. Every single one of these things individually could be explained away, could be timing, coincidence, logistics. But all of them together, all pointing at the same production, all happening in the lead up to one of the most anticipated and simultaneously most skeptically received season premieres in recent HBO history. I'm sorry, but that is not a coincidence. That is a show that was, at some point, genuinely in trouble, and what we're watching right now, the trailers, the Coachella screening, the slow drip of information, is a network doing everything in its power to rebuild momentum for something that almost didn't make it to the finish line. And the audience can feel it.
Zendaya completely ignores Sydney Sweeney at the Euphoria Season 3 premiere. Sydney in the back. She said hi to Maud though. She said hi to Maud Apatow. Sydney acting like pretending she don't see Zendaya, like. She was out of there, honey. And clearly everyone was acting awkward around Sydney Sweeney because there was also this moment with Alexa Demie. She's like, hey. Now, she's been shady towards Sydney all night because in the same premiere night, she said, I'm always giggly when I get together with Hunter, Maud, and Z. When any of us get together, it's so special and fun. No mention of Sydney. But Sydney Sweeney looked extremely unbothered, making out with her boyfriend, Scooter Braun, all night. Now, they usually always take a full cast picture for these premiere events, but this is all I could find. I mean, Zendaya didn't even want to be near Sam Levinson. Here's her trying to escape from him on the red carpet as well. You can tell he's like, come with me, girl. He's like, come with me. No, she's gonna come with me. He's like, no, she's not. Zendaya literally just came to serve and show off her Tom Holland tattoo.
That's the thing. The audience knows something shifted. Because when that first trailer dropped, the top comment with 22,000 likes said, this trailer feels like either I missed a season or this is a whole new show. 22,000 people agreed with that in real time. Others said it looks like a Breaking Bad crossover, that the original vibe from the first 2 seasons got completely erased, that they feel like they're watching something that borrowed the character names but rebuilt everything else from scratch. Now, is that necessarily bad? Maybe not. The second trailer got more positive responses. People were saying the color palette looks stunning, that even if the story feels different, it actually looks good. But here's the uncomfortable question underneath all of that excitement. If the show feels like a completely different world with a 5-year time jump, rushed character updates, and a tone that audiences are describing as unrecognizable, are we watching a creative evolution? Or are we watching what happens when a vision got compromised so many times that what came out the other side barely resembles what it started as? Because those are 2 very different things, and only one of them leads to a season that actually works. So here's what I keep coming back to. Euphoria Season 3 is about to premiere, and on paper, the ingredients are all there. Incredible cast, beautiful cinematography based on what we've seen, a network with resources, characters people genuinely love. But underneath all of that, you've got a creator whose judgment people are actively questioning. You've got a production rollout that felt disorganized and fractured at every single step. You've got a score composer publicly airing grievances 1 week before launch. You've got cast dynamics that people are reading into obsessively. You've got a 5-year time jump that completely resets the world of the show. You've got the grief of real loss woven into everything. And you've got an audience that is, by their own admission, mostly showing up to see what happens. Not necessarily because they believe in it, but because they need to know. And honestly, that's where I'm at too. HBO's own head of drama basically suggested this might be the end. She said, I don't think anything is over until it's over, but it's been discussed. That's not a confident statement about a show with a bright future. That's someone carefully managing expectations. So is this a victory lap? Or is this a farewell that got more complicated than anyone planned? I genuinely don't know what we're about to watch on Sunday, and I think that's the thing that's making everyone feel so unsettled going into this. It's not that the show looks bad necessarily. It's that nobody, not the fans, not apparently some of the cast members, not even Labrinth, seems to know exactly what they're walking into. The show that was culturally everywhere in 2022 is coming back into a 2026 landscape where the hype has cooled, the controversies have piled up, and the audience is watching with arms halfway crossed. Will it pull people back in? Will it remind everyone why they fell in love with it in the first place? Will the 5-year time jump feel earned or feel like an escape hatch from storylines that got too complicated to resolve? And what exactly happened between Labrinth and this production? Because I feel like that story is not finished yet. There are so many threads here that don't have clean endings. And maybe that's the most Euphoria thing about all of this. Messy, emotionally overwhelming, impossible to look away from, and leaving you with more questions than answers. Sunday is going to tell us a lot, but I have a feeling it's going to raise just as many questions as it answers. Let me know in the comments. Are you watching? Are you nervous? Excited? Are you going in with faith? Or are you going in as a skeptic? Because honestly, I need to know I'm not alone in this spiral. I love you guys so much. I'll see you on the other side of Sunday.